Hey there, Leo. It's Wes with the Aurawest Tarot, and today we're going to be doing your bi-weekly reading for the month of January 2022. We're going to be doing the first 2 weeks, so let's get right on into it. We're going to be looking at your general messages going into January. So let's see what we get. So, Leo, some of you have been essentially having forward movement. About what? Tower moment. So, some of you might have had a serious blunder, something that basically was going in the direction that you wanted it to, perhaps, for some of you, and others of you, it may have just been something that came out of nowhere. Just a sudden occurrence of things not going your way. It's essentially the universe striking a thunderbolt, blowing things up in your face. I think this tower was essentially to get you forward moving with the chariot here. So it does kind of look like you are, some of you may be trying to get a new job. Some of you may just be trying to go in a different direction. Also coming out of your head. So a lot of forward movement in the past year. Now in your current, we have some competition, some type of fighting. So I don't know if some of you are struggling to get a job or you're arguing with somebody. The Magician here is in reverse. What is that about? Not following your intuition. I think some of you are doubting your ability to get things off the ground, Leo. Yeah. Whether that be a new job, offer, or just a business adventure of any kind. It doesn't really matter what it is. If you're trying to start a new business, or it's a relationship, or a lover, you might just be doubting that. In your near future here, we have the Hierophant in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What is the Ace of Pentacles about? There's no growth here for some reason, Leo. I'm kind of curious as to why. Why is there no forward movement? What's the silence all about? Damn, I'm getting a lot of shit about just feeling like a bit of a flop or a failure type thing. I've got Six of Wands here, a loser in battle type thing. What's the Hierophant about in reverse? A lot of you are going to be indecision, just constant decision, feeling like, you're trying to weigh out the options and where to go and what to do, essentially. So, yeah, that's what's coming in for your 2 weeks. Let's see what the challenge is. Challenge is choosing a path to go down. Very straightforward and simple. A lot of you, I think, are struggling with the idea of how do I get things moving forward? It's a brand new year. What do I do? Where do I go from here? Okay, well, that's unfortunately not going to come from somebody whispering in your ear. It really needs to come from your own intuition. And with the High Priestess in reversed here, that's suggesting just that you're listening to other people, not following your intuition, Leo. You need to make your own path, not listen to someone else telling you where to go about that. Another challenge. Transformation. Some of you may be resisting the idea of wanting to transform or choose a different direction. I mean, Leo, I think this is pretty clear-cut. I think you've been going through a lot of rough times and bullshit in your life and stuff like that. I think some of you are acting out, probably wanting to just say, fuck the quota, fuck the conformity. Done with that. And if that's the case, then why are you not trusting intuition? Because the tarot is saying that you're kind of more, chiming in on the opinions possibly of other people. And for others of you, it could just be that it's just, if you are kind of staying true to yourself, it may just be a lot of self-doubt, whether or not, even though you kind of have these ideas and you could probably tell someone how you want to be and what you want to do, you're just not really doing it. Don't really know. You have too many things going on. And I think the better solution in this, Leo, is probably just to take a step back and really ask yourself what it is that you're actually trying to achieve. You can't do 10 things. I mean, if you want to, you can, but that's what we call a jack of trades, master of none. So, if you want to be a master of something, choose one path, not 10. That's just my 10 cents on the matter. Alright, what do we have for Leo singles going into the first 2 weeks of January? What do we have for Leo singles going into January? Yeah. Jesus Christ. So, Leo singles dealing with somebody. It's not going to apply to, when I say dealing with somebody, this is your boo, this is your thing, somebody that you've been dealing with, or it's an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever. It's not your mom, it's not your dad. Okay, in your past year, it's showing that you have the devil in reverse, releasing from this person, getting out of your head. Once again, we have the 8 of Swords in reverse. So it looks like there has been a transition, probably a breakup with this person. You're probably not talking with this individual anymore. This person, for those of you wondering, probably the one that I'm referring to is somebody here where there was probably an opportunity for things to grow between you two, and it was likely preceded by either you or them. Whatever the case was, it didn't go anywhere. There might have been somebody may have been a little bit controlling, and I would suggest that's probably the person that was probably a little bit controlling of the situation, wanting things to go their way, and when they didn't get their way, they pouted and pissed and moaned. But whatever the case is, this person doesn't seem to have the very best optimistic complex. It's probably somebody that frequently has issues going on in their life, and doesn't seem to ever feel like they're moving forward in life. Therefore, maybe they're identifying with you because you're a comfort to them, because they know you and you're familiar. I don't know. But whatever the case, this person seems to be someone that you kind of are trying to detach from for one reason or another. Maybe it's because they have drug history and alcohol history. Maybe this person is just a Debbie Downer. Maybe this person just is always negative or getting into fights, problems. Whatever the case is, you've had probably an attachment to this person in the past and you're trying to let go of them. I think I'm going to release this person with Leo. I don't think it's necessarily holding back. I think you're just giving up on the situation, and I think you're just trying to evade the situation. You know, when the Seven of Swords, is in reverse, it generally does talk about a battlefield that's been basically, you know, it's not evasion at that point. I mean, things are pretty much all up in the air. People are up in arms, and the dude's pretty much at that point aware that people are sounding the alarm. So it's the concern of exposure. But at the same time, it can be wounded in battle. Maybe you got caught. Somebody came and you got away from them, but now you're mending your wounds. So this is kind of, in some cases, why they call it evasion. Because, I mean, you're trying to run away from the people that are trying to find you. But in this context, I think it's just... I think you're just realizing that whoever this person is, Leo, I don't think you feel that you can move forwards with them. And it doesn't mean to say that it's not a part of you that still resonates with them and wants to be with them, but I think there's a larger looming portion of you going to the new year that's just deciding that this person is just, unfortunately, either one, somebody that doesn't want to change their ways for one reason or another, or B, just somebody that perpetually, even if they are trying to change their ways, you're just realizing that you're growing apart and you just don't want to really deal with this person, and it might be just better and safer option just to evade them because maybe they have a temper. And the Six of Wands in reverse can talk about people that are kind of a little bit bashy, you know, kind of brutal with dictation type things, trying to bark out orders and stuff like that. And this person might be somebody that just when they're having a bad day starts to do that type thing. You just like, you know, I don't want to fucking deal with that. But Strength in reverse. Clarify the Strength in reverse. Yeah, stability. So I think I think you're kind of giving up on the idea that the idea of founding, because, you know, keep in mind the Knight's still immature here with the Pentacles, that, you know, to grow the kind of foundation that's going to lead to the Ten of Pentacles, which is what we all essentially want. It's the ultimate stability. I don't think you're going to get it with this person, and I think you're just kind of relinquishing any hope that this person's really going to change, which is kind of what I was coming back to, and especially in who this person might be is Page of Pentacles in reverse. Alright. Let's see what else we got here for you. What else do we have here? Ideas going into January, first 2 weeks. I think there's going to be a breakup here, Leo. So if you, or a disconnect. Okay, some of you might be saying, well, I'm not dating this person. You know, you don't really necessarily have to be dating this person. It's connection. It's a relationship. You know, if you know one person, you've had sentimental history with this person, done a lot of things and stuff, it's effectively a relationship. It doesn't mean to say that you're boyfriend and girlfriend. It's just a connection between you two. Whatever the case is, I think this connection is unfortunately going to separate. And I do think a lot of you are going to push forward and focus on your finance, your direction, your own stability, leading towards Knight of Pentacles transforming into the King of Pentacles. So I would expect that if this connection does, if you do separate from this person here, Leo, I'm going to tell you right now, expect money, expect transformation. I also want to say that for some of you out there experiencing some type of like probably sadness or depression, stuff like that, just be aware it is winter season. So there is sometimes a lot of people that experience a small bout of the winter blues, as they call it, or seasonal affective depression for someone that's a bit more depressed. So it's very common for people, during this time to really struggle with trying to make changes and stuff like that, just because of the fact that, with the sun changes and everything like that, its circadian rhythm gets all messed up in the brain, and therefore people sometimes are just a bit moody, they sleep, they pack in the pounds a little bit, they don't want to do anything. So transformation can be a bit slow, but I would expect that going into the first 2 weeks of January, I'm not saying that you're going to transform into the King of Pentacles. Okay, he's sitting on his throne there like he's pretty much accomplished everything, because he has. What I am suggesting is that it's more going to be a focus towards this King of Pentacles. In other words, that you are going to make the decision that you want to transform from this Knight to the King here. Okay, man or woman, doesn't really matter. But the Two of Cups in reverse, I do think this is going to be a separation. And I think you're just realizing that just someone that unfortunately is just weighing you down. You don't want to deal with anyone. And that's probably the better move, to be honest, because with great responsibility, solid foundation, a good paying job and stuff like that, you can really upgrade yourself to someone that's better suited to you, because at that point you're successful, you have options available to you, and you're a fire sign, so I have no reason to think that you can't get that. What do we got for single Leos not dealing with anyone going into the first 2 weeks of January? There's going to be transformation here, and I know this because there is the Five of Cups in reverse. So you're going to be getting over whatever you've been stuck on. So single Leos not dealing with anyone. If you've been home alone a lot and stuff like that, there is going to be a growth period. Tell me what this growth period is about. What do they need to know about it? So we got Knight of Swords here in reverse. So it's going to talk about essentially that for a good portion of you that are single may have been sitting in the realm of not really taking enough action, and when you have, it may be bursted action, meaning that you sit in your hands essentially under your butt, and you have these intervals where essentially you're bursting out and wanting to take action and doing something, and then it's like then you back off again and you go forwards and you back off. The Knight, when he's upright, does like rush in with things like really quickly, and it's all about new ideas, communication. He's a very excited Knight, but it's also someone that is going to fight for what he wants. So that's why he's highly armored. You see there's a lot of armor in there, so it's sometimes a kind of a voracious mentality, essentially, that if I want something, I'm going to damn well get it. Now keep in mind here, it's reversed. Okay? So this can be someone that can cave to the ideas of others, essentially rushing in and then basically getting buckled, or other people kind of overwhelming your opinion or something like that and kind of dwarfing your opinion, so it's like nothing. It can start to feel reckless at that point because you just don't really know which way you're going. If you have too many people talking in your ears, telling your opinion sucks, try their opinion, try this or do that and something like that, or maybe you should try this or whatever like that, it can get a bit overwhelming, and eventually it does become reckless. There's just too much energy in the air going in too many different directions, and eventually you're just not focusing it on anything, and a lot of you can get lost with that. That can lead to stagnation, which doesn't lead to growth. But the universe is suggesting that there is going to be something that's going to occur with the death here, that out with the old, in with the new, and it's a brand new year. So I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing the death card. Now, a lot of you are asking, well, what the hell exactly is that? Well, the Five of Cups in reverse is next to it. So for a good portion of you, it's going to be something over a situation of some sort that has probably plagued you for a long period of time. But I think, speaking of time, I think there's just been enough of it where you're just deciding to get over it. And the universe is going to party line things up in such a way that you just decide that I don't want to deal with it anymore. I just feel like it's getting to that point where it's time to change. So I can't really say that there's going to be any, new lover. There's nothing immediate that's showing up for me right here, suggesting that there's going to be some new love in the next 2 weeks of January. It's only 2 weeks of January. There is going to be a change here, but I think what I want you to keep in mind here, Leo, singles that are not dealing with anyone, is that this change is what's necessary to facilitate somebody new coming in for you, okay? And we'll probably see in the next coming reads and stuff like that something that would suggest that someone's going to be there for you. But it really just depends. Every zodiac sign is different on where they're at in the game. And right now it's suggesting that you are needing a kind of transformation, and this is probably releasing somebody that you've been holding on to, especially if you hadn't had anyone for a long period of time. This is especially true. You can't really manifest and want somebody good to come into your life if you're still clinging to someone from the past. And this could have been, honestly, for some people 5 years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago. You know, you'd be surprised how many people hang on to things from the past and just are quite content to essentially stay single, hoping that this person from 10 years ago or whatever is going to come back. You know, sometimes we just need to realize that the past is the past for a reason. You know, it's not now, and therefore, if we focus on the present, which is growth and transformation, what can I do about that? Go to the gym, focus on how you're dressing, get your hair done. These little things do matter, because there's going to be somebody that's going to notice it, and it may not be the 1,000 people you run across, but there will be one person in that 1,001 that will notice you and probably say, hey, how's it going? You know, so I think the universe is kind of encouraging you to do that. You need to first focus on releasing, you know, whatever it is you're carrying. And if this is not an ex, maybe it's some type of loss that you've been carrying with something else. But it does suggest that you know, one way or another, you are going to do that. So we'll see if that happens. But if that does happen, I think it's going to release you into this death card right here, which should suggest that there's going to be growth and transformation into something brand new, leaving out the old. So I like it. I think it's good. It's strong, positive energy. Single Leos. It's not always about focusing on just who's coming in for me, and if there's not somebody, then boo-hoo. Because the reality is that, you know, even if even if this tarot right here said that there was somebody hot and sexy coming in for you, what difference would it really make? Be honest with yourself. What difference would it really make if you haven't moved on from some person from the past and you're still stuck in it? The reality is that about half of you is going to be still stuck on that situation, and then you're only putting 50% of yourself towards this new situation. How likely is that going to grow? It's probably not. You know, it's wishful thinking. You know, the reality is that you have to put in the work into a situation, make the effort, and be open to it. And if you're in the grocery store or something like that, and your mind is still thinking about something from, you know, a decade ago or something like that, your awareness is probably not going to be there. It's not going to be focusing on your surroundings and who's really looking at you or paying attention to you. You just ignore them. Not intentionally, just because you're so focused on something else that you just forget what's around you. And then the opportunity just goes on by. So I think the universe is aware that might have been going on for you, for some of you, so just pay attention to that. Just saying. You guys gotta move on here. Alright, what do we have for our non-single Leos going into the first 2 weeks of January? What do they need to know? What are our non-single Leos? Oh, I had a card drop out. What is that? Okay, so some of you, for our non-single Leos, going into January 2022 in the first 2 weeks, I think, you know, this read portion is going to be about your partner and you, and essentially it's showing here in the past that there may have been a little bit of selfishness. For some of you it could be obsessive natures and tendencies and stuff like that. For others of you it could be also talking about possible financial issues or instability issues and stuff like that. But we do have the King of Cups in reverse here, suggesting that someone in the relationship was probably closed off. Yeah, I almost wonder to some extent if there was I mean, I just had the Death card and the Leo singles not dealing with anyone, and they also had the Death card show up there. So I think there's going to be some growth and transformation, probably releasing somebody here from the past, Leos. And if it's not someone from the past, then I have to assume that if your relationship's probably not going well for some of you, then this is probably the current. I mean, we've got King of Cups in reverse here. That's emotionally closed off. And that's not something you want to see, per se, in a relationship reading when you're involved with someone. Okay? Now, obviously that doesn't apply to you. I just throw it out immediately. But we do have the Five of Cups here in reverse, which is kind of releasing something that is no longer working for you. And that's talking also about a disappointment, some depressions. So some of you may have been in the blues about something, but getting over it. And that's leading right into growth and transformation. A complete, total life change. Okay. Yeah. So when I call it in your general message, we got Queen of Wands here in reverse, which is a little concerning. And then we also have King of Cups here in reverse. So, and this is a relationship reading here, Leo. We do have Four of Wands showing up here. It's the only thing that's kind of stable. Clarify the Queen of Wands in reverse. Why is that there? For Leos in an involved relationship. It's possible that some of you have probably been dating somebody that has still, to some extent, you may have felt the vibe that they're still stuck on somebody from the past or reminiscing about some lover. It may not be true for all of you, but the Six of Cups in reverse does talk about, really being stuck on the past. Things that, and it can also talk about one-sided relationships to some extent. Upright is equal give and take relationships. Reversed is not so much. And what's concerning is we also have the Four of Pentacles here, which is also a card of suggesting basically being a little bit selfish and to one side. So for some of you, I think, are kind of facing an issue where perhaps the love in the situation is not quite where it needs to be, and there is a potential that things are kind of separating. There is some focus here on the Four of Wands here, which is celebrations, things moving forward. So a lot of not a lot of Wands energy, actually a lot of Cups energy, but I don't let's see there. But let's clarify the Four of Wands. What's that about? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Jesus. Yeah. Shit. Leo's involved in a relationship. For those of you with a partner, all I'm getting is like a lot of instability. There's a lot of instability. We have a card of essentially grabbing onto things, kind of being a little bit like penny pinching. We've got someone here that's essentially trying to get over some type of disappointment. We've got someone closed off here. We've got non-committal energy. We've got instability. We've got a lot stuck in the past. There's a lot of stuff here that's suggesting that things aren't going really in the right direction. So I'm anticipating that some of you are going to. That's probably why the Death card is there, signifying that this is coming towards a close for some of you. I would anticipate in the next 2 weeks of January that things are going to be probably leaning in the direction of, a separation. Or it's just one of you is making a decision. Likely you watching this is probably just making this, decision that you want to move on from this person. And maybe it's time to separate from this person and start something new. That's obviously not going to be for everyone. If that's not your case, just toss it out. What advice do we have for committed Leos in this situation? Just keep your head in the game. Since you got the Wounded Warrior card here, so I think a lot of you are going to have to face the reality that it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle going the next 2 weeks of January, but at the same time, really pick your battles wisely. So if you are fighting with this person or having issues and stuff like that, probably really start to examine, is it worth staying in the relationship for that? I'm not encouraging, obviously, in any way, shape, or form for people to go and separate just because of a tarot reading or something. That's not what I'm saying. If this does apply to your situation and you're having issues with your relationship, are dealing with somebody that may be just a little bit more focused on their finances, more their stability, not really giving you the time of day or the attention or affection that you really deserve, then it's probably, given that we're a brand new year, start to really ask yourself, is this something that's healthy for you? And that question, the answer is no one too many times, then it may be something to discuss with your potential partner that maybe hey, either we can work this out or we can't. And if we can't work this out, or this person's going to be unreasonable. And I'm just saying that because of the Queen of Wands showing up here in reverse here can suggest somebody that would be unreasonable. This is a person that can unfortunately lie and really use manipulation to their advantage. So if you're dealing with something like that and you know it's just going to be a losing battle, then sometimes it's best just to say, sorry, right now I got to walk away from this. It's toxic. And and once, like I said, just really ask yourself. I mean, they call it the Wounded Warrior card for a reason. I mean, gone through hell and back. And if that's something that you want to do, and it's bringing you fulfillment and happiness, and I guess keep doing that. But if that's not something that's working for you, then let's really start, going into 2022. Really ask yourself: is this something that you should be in, or is it time to let the old go and invite the new in? I'm gonna vote for invite the new in, but that's just me. But hey, if your partner is willing, and you really think your partner is going to be receptive to whatever issues you're having, or the unhappiness, or because the King of Cups is reversed there, it's always concerning because that's a card of the total romance, the deep connection. Some of you may not be feeling like you really have that with your partner. And then with the Queen of Wands in reverse, could probably suggest that possibly, if you're not doing it, then your partner might be somebody that's open to just exploring other options and being a little bit in and out, finicky and stuff like that. And it's like, do you want to deal with that? I don't. What do we got for Leo's monies going into January 2022, the first 2 weeks? Tell me about finance, please. A lot of progress. Knight of Wands is showing up here, so I think some of you are going to go on a new venture. Not surprising, it's brand new. But I think there is going to be enthusiasm, and especially your fire sign, Knight of Wands, fire energy, so I think you're going to be in your element here, Leo. We got 5 of Pentacles showing up here, so let's find out more about that. Oh, look at this damn Queen of Wands showing up here in reverse again, with the 6 of Swords in reverse. This all suggesting stuck energy. I don't know if some of you have somebody that's like, if it's some type of person or something like that, a fire sign, another fire sign, you're a fire sign, but some other fire sign that is unwilling to basically move on past you or keeps harassing you or coming back in your life. We have 5 Pentacles out in the cold. I don't know if they're out in the cold. And this person may be suggesting they're going through hard times and kind of wanting you to help them out or something like that. Empress in reverse. Jesus Christ. So we're at Knight of Wands and then 5 of Wands clarifying to it. I think financially, Leo, I think there's going to be some delays in your finances going into the first 2 weeks of January. I really I always want to tell people, wouldn't it be nice if every single Zodiac got you're going to be rich and you're going to be, just killing it. But that's just not realistic, and this is showing a lot of competition, a lot of struggles, a lot of playing it safe a little bit. Some of you may really be struggling a little bit with where you're at. And maybe there's a lot of bills coming through, feeling like you're penny pinching a little bit, kind of broke as a joke a little bit. But at the same time, Empress in reverse is lack of growth. And I think there's a tendency of sticking to old ways. And like I said, for some of you, it's going to be a toxic lover that may be draining your finances, that's unwilling to move on past you, that's stuck out in the cold. Okay, so you may have some person that's always kind of calling you up, wanting to see where what you're doing, where you at, But at the end of the day, you probably find that once the hangout session's done and stuff like that, you've probably spent a couple $100 or something like that, and they've spent what, 5? If it's one of those situations, it's calling attention there that you really need to pay attention to that, because that is a massive drain on your finances. Okay. You can't, unfortunately, fix everyone. You can't. And there's a lot of broken people out there that are continuously always just up your ass because they know that they can take advantage of you. And if this is somebody that you're dealing with, somebody here that you just know is kind of up to no good, it's tempting to always want to bring those people in because they always know the best sob stories to tell you, right? Oh, you're never going to believe what happened to me. Yeah, we've heard it. Eventually it just gets to the point where it's like, how many stories has it been? Oh God, I just got fired from my job. It's just like, didn't you just get that job 3 days ago? Yeah, but you're never gonna believe what happened. It's like, yeah, come on. You know, so I think some of you are going to feel like there's going to be a bit of a slump going in the first 2 weeks of January. But there is going to be a push forward, and I'm getting a sense it's going to be a bit of a struggle for you. Okay? So I would expect that if you are kind of feeling like you are in that slump kind of period, just know that it's going to be temporary and stuff like that, but I do see there's going to be still a lot of action, forward movement with you, especially with the Knight of Wands here. So there is going to be forward movement. Don't worry about that. Things are going to move forwards, okay? But you may have some challenges. I'm getting, like I said, with that possible toxic X coming back in. Five of Wands, there is going to be some competition and probably just fighting for what you want. I think some of you may be going through a down, just opposition, things coming in your way, obstacles, shit coming in your way that's unexpected, that you keep trying to push an idea forward and something keeps slowing you down. And the Empress in reverse, suggesting a lack of growth. So I think it's just going to be a temporary delay here, Leo. So don't ever take these readings like too seriously, but I mean at the same time it's just 2 weeks, January. So let's see what the next 2 weeks after that will show, but I do see you kind of pressing forwards here. It could be a little bit of overspending here as well, just so you know. So just be aware of that. But anyways, Leo, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I will see you on the next one.